Today we're talking a little bit about something that is not ideal by any means for Caitlin Clark for the All-Star game. The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark is probably going to need a hardship player for the All-Star game because multiple of
Caitlin Clark was made for moments like these. When adversity shows up, she doesn't flinch. She welcomes it in and gets to work. The All-Star game was meant to be her big moment alongside MVP force Aya Wilson, a cornerstone of the team's championship hopes. But with Wilson out due to injury, all eyes now fall squarely on Clark. And if her past is any clue, this is exactly when she shines the brightest.
Wilson, man, she looked like she might not actually make it to the All-Star game, man. Have that hurt, injured wrist. And I see it in the cast, man, right over here in the corner. If y'all can see that, I know it's a tap.
Fans were fired up to finally see Caitlin Clark and Aya Wilson join forces. A dream duo with the power to shake up All-Star history. The hype was real, the energy unmatched. But setbacks? That's nothing new for Clark. She's been doubted, challenged, and tested her whole career. And every time, she's answered with heart, leadership, and the kind of performance that fills arenas and drops jaws.
Satu. Either way, A'ja Wilson is currently injured. Yes, A'ja Wilson is currently injured, which is not good, and it does not seem great. They say she has a sprained wrist with no timetable to return, and that means she's probably out for the All-Star game. That means she's probably out. So it's the rookies. It's the rookies. Like, it is Caitlin Clark and the rookies versus...
The injury happened during the Aces' 87-78 loss to the New York Liberty. One of those scary falls that makes you wince just watching. Aya Wilson attacked the rim against Leonie Febick, drew the foul, and came crashing down on her right wrist. Instantly, the entire Aces bench rushed over like she was the last slice of pizza in a college dorm. In true champion fashion, she tried to play through it, sank her free throws, stayed in for a few more possessions. But eventually reality set in. Her night was over.
All right, so yeah, I ended up seeing this yesterday where she actually had this cast on her wrist. And I remember Angel Reese wearing this as well. She was out for a good minute after hurting her wrist. So I don't think A'ja Wilson...
Now here's where things get interesting. The MRI revealed a sprain, not a fracture, which falls under the could-have-been-worse category. Still, a sprain is no small issue, especially for a player who already missed 3 games earlier this season under concussion protocol. For Aya Wilson, this season is starting to feel more like a medical drama. And with her sidelined again, Team Clark is definitely feeling the ripple effects.
After A'ja Wilson's fall and wrist injury the other night, I was super nervous that it was going to be something more serious. It really looked bad, especially the way she landed. I've had that fracture from a similar fall, and my wrist immediately started hurting. She did have an MRI yesterday. She posted this: "Welp, nothing wakes you up like the sound of an MRI machine, but just want to say thank you for the prayers, New York Liberty. Thank you so much for the quick help and privacy. Truly appreciate it. Natasha Cloud was a real wonder for that. Prayers to my squad. Thank you for preventing my crash out. God has a plan that I'll never question. We're going to be all right." Which, the God has a plan I'll never question. Every time someone posts that, I get a little nervous because it makes me feel like they're saying God has a plan, which means I'm not going to play. And I was like...
Coach Becky Hammon tried to be the voice of reason, saying they're focused on letting it heal right the first time to avoid a season-long issue. Smart move. But here's the problem. The All-Star game is on July 19th, and a grade 1 sprain usually keeps players out for 1 to 3 weeks. The timing isn't exactly working in Team Clark's favor. And you can bet Caitlin is already running through backup plans faster than a GPS after a wrong turn.
So now it's being reported that her wrist is not broken, it's just a sprain. So we'll probably see her pretty soon, after she takes some time to heal and rest. So I'm just so glad it's not broken. This is such good news. She's not going to play tonight in tonight's game between the Aces and the Mystics. Give her some time to heal up and we'll see her soon. I'm just so glad it's not broken. This is the best news.
If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button. But don't go anywhere, because it gets even better. This isn't just another All-Star game hiccup. It's unfolding right in the middle of one of the most talked about rivalries in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It all started back in the 2023 NCAA championship, when Reese hit Clark with the infamous "You can't see me" gesture, igniting a basketball Cold War. The media painted them as equals, 2 stars on the same tier. But reality? Reality has other plans. Clark is captaining her own squad in Indianapolis, leading from the front. Meanwhile, Angel Reese isn't even starting for Team Collier. Let that sink in. The so-called rival, the one pegged as Clark's match, won't be in the spotlight when the game tips off.
Reese, girl, I'm curious, where are your followers at? And just in case you guys aren't aware, because Angel Reese and all her fans want to tell us all the time, you know, she's just as important with the growth of women's basketball because of all of the followers and all of the people who care about Angel Reese and want to get to know her. She's got 4.9 million followers on Instagram and she's doing really well on TikTok. But we all know that the 2025 All-Star starters lineup dropped and Angel Reese is nowhere.
And speaking of Team Collier, let's break down how that draft really went down. Nafisa Collier didn't just pick Angel Reese, she trolled her. When asked about the choice, Collier casually said she needed someone to grab rebounds. Specifically someone great at cleaning up her own misses. The shade? So thick you could slice it. This is a woman who co-founded Unrivaled and has been tearing up the league all season. And when it came time to draft, she looked at Angel Reese and basically said, "Yeah, I'll take the rebounder." That wasn't just a pick, it was a message.
If Gabby Williams is off the board, who are you going with?
Okay, I feel like I'm going to get into the post players.
Let's do it.
We need some rebounding. I'm going to go with Me Bounds, Angel. We need some rebounding on our team.
Angel Reese off the board here to Team Collier. Tasked with getting those boards here in Indiana.
But here's the kicker. This is where Caitlin Clark proved she's not just a baller, she's a CEO in sneakers. She didn't just play the All-Star game, she rewrote it. When asked about trades, most captains would think player swaps. Not Clark. She stared straight into the cameras and said, "I don't know if this is in the rules, and I don't really care. We're trading coaches." Just like that, Cheryl Reeve, the Minnesota Lynx coach originally slated to lead Team Clark, was sent to Team Collier faster than a bad Uber gets one-starred. In her place? Sandy Brondello, the championship-winning coach of the New York Liberty. The message was loud and clear. Clark didn't want someone who questioned her impact. She wanted a proven winner in her corner. This wasn't just a coaching swap. It was a flex that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Sorry, ESPN, if it wasn't in the rulebook, it is now. Clark said it like someone who knows she runs this league. And the league didn't stop her. They couldn't. Because when you're Caitlin Clark, when you sell out arenas, when fans drop $670 to watch you light it up in the middle of Iowa, you don't follow the rules. You write them.
I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Ooh.
It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach.
Sandy Brondello's reaction to the surprise trade was absolutely perfect. Her teenage son texted her, "Mom, you got traded." And she thought the whole thing was hilarious. That's exactly the kind of positive, team-first energy Caitlin Clark wants around her squad. Not negativity, not drama, and definitely not the endless noise about media coverage. Just pure basketball focus and a championship mindset. Now, with Aya Wilson's status up in the air, Team Clark faces a real dilemma. Do they bring in another superstar? Do they tweak the game plan? Do they panic? If you know anything about Caitlin Clark, you know panic isn't part of her playbook. This is the same player who led Iowa to back-to-back Final Fours, shattered scoring records like they were made of glass, and made women's basketball must-see TV. Even without Wilson, the roster Clark built is still stacked. She's got Aaliyah Boston, her Indiana Fever teammate and defensive anchor. Sabrina Ionescu brings elite shooting and sky-high basketball IQ. Sada Sabali adds international poise and versatility. Kelsey Mitchell delivers clutch buckets and long-range firepower. Gabby Williams brings hustle, defense, and grit. This team isn't just loaded with talent. It's built on chemistry, trust, and a shared desire to win.
Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it? Yeah. That you got traded? Yeah. Oh, I gotta go look at all that. Traded? I have no idea what the teams are.
Second time in history now. Jeez, as a player. And I got traded, yes. My son hit me up he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
Let's be real. Losing Aya Wilson is like taking Batman out of the Justice League. Sure, you can still save the world, but it's a whole lot harder. Wilson averages 20.7 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. She's not just a player. She's a storm, a basketball hurricane that tears through opponents. Without her, Team Clark has to regroup, redefine their identity, and find a new way to dominate. And here's the twist. The irony is thick. While Clark is navigating life without her star, Angel Reese is over on Team Collier bragging that they've got the #1 crash on their side. Crash outs? Is that what we're calling players who couldn't even crack the All-Star starting lineup now?